monster men.
Arrgh.
You know,
That's like a Ross from Friends arc.
the 101st episode just doesn't get the fanfare
Arrgh.
of the 100th.
I don't know. I'm sorry. We went all balls out for the 100th
Balls
episode.
out.
We've got no balls left for the 101st. No balls.
That's a lie. We are going to give as much effort to the 101st as we did the very first.
In fact, more effort maybe.
More.
Because now we know what we're doing.
Yes, we
Kinda.
really do. No, we do. We're very comfortable.
Kinda.
Loose. Let
Let me get my cardboard. Let's talk about...
By the time this airs, the season will be over. At the time.
the first thing we're talking about, yes.
The first thing.
But it's a big thing.
It's a big thing. We probably should have talked about it a long time ago.
I know.
X-Files.
Oh, I love the X-Files.
X-Files came back for 6 episodes,
Yep.
and they kept the original opening.
Oh my God. I don't remember. Was Skinner's ID card in the towards the end? I can't remember.
I think it was, but
I've gone back to Netflix, but I've been watching like seasons 1 through 4. I gotta go later on to see if he was in there.
I feel like he was, but...
I love bald heads with disconnected beards. I feel like that's my picture.
That is. Somebody was just talking about hair replacement and toupees and all this other stuff, and I was like, what the hell? Everybody's bald.
Who cares?
Whatever. Fucking back.
It's less maintenance. So much easier.
Skinner.
I know. But just that beard that just starts and ends nowhere.
One thing I like about the X-Files 6-season is that it's 6 episodes.
6 episodes. It's season 10, officially. Maybe I would like 10 episodes.
But these shows that have been doing like short runs, like 12 episodes or whatever, like even like when 24 came back, but they made it 12 episodes.
Right.
You were like, yes, these 22, 24 episode seasons go way too long. There's too much filler.
Right.
So you could have used a few more X-File ones, but way less filler.
Yeah. More killer.
Less
Plus, she's
filler.
doing The Fall. Gillian Anderson's doing The Fall. He's doing Zodiac. So they both
Is that
have
still
other,
on?
Yeah. So both have other gigs.
He's at Californication too, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know because I'm such a fan of X-Files. Like when it first came out, I was in the same place, and when it was on Fridays, and Fridays I would order from Calvin's Chinese restaurant from Bronxville. I'd bring them orange chicken and rice. I would smoke a cigar and I would drink whiskey and watch X-Files by myself. The rule was leave me alone. This room was going to be full of like Chinese food farts and smoke and whiskey, and I would watch that. And even on Sundays, I think I carried on. Just it didn't matter. I had a crappy job, so you have to be sober. So it was for me some of the first must-see television of my adult life, where I couldn't miss it. And there was if you missed it, you missed it.
No DVR, no nothing.
Right. So when it came back, I was excited, I was leery, and I didn't realize how much I missed X-Files till I saw the first episode.
Yeah, my relationship with the X-Files was on and off because I loved it.
Right.
And then the mythology started to get heavy and convoluted.
Yeah.
And then by the time the company left, I had no time for Doggett and all that other stuff.
I was watching it strictly for Gillian Anderson at that point.
Yeah, I left. So I would come in and out. I always like the standalone episodes better than the mythology episodes. And I recently just read a recap of the mythology.
Right.
And I'm reading it going, what?
Is that what they were going for?
Yeah, so I was not up to speed. A couple of things going on in the new show I feel like are contrary to where it left.
Right.
The movies that they did after the show ended, I wasn't crazy about.
See, I like the movies. I loved the first one, and the second one with
It was like a
the
Frankenstein.
first one was about the standalone. The second one was about like this pedophile professor or whatever.
It was like a Frankenstein thing, though.
Yeah, but it was a standalone episode
Yeah.
as a movie, and people were like, I don't. But I'm like, whoa, that was like part of the best part of the show.
I probably need to watch it again because I think I went in thinking it was going to be big picture mythology, and instead it was a one-off. And
Yeah, it was really. Trust me, if you watch it again, it's really good. But I think that both of them got the cadence down. They're having a lot of fun with it.
Listen, the fun is the main thing.
Yeah.
Two things. We won't give away a ton, but the episode with the guy from Flight of the Conchords who plays Murray,
Dressed as
Kolchak, the were-lizard episode.
Oh my God, that was
is spectacular.
Priceless. Funniest episode maybe ever.
Duchovny is just on fire. Like, he's got that dry wit down.
Yes.
Then, this last episode where he trips on mushrooms and is doing the line dancing is maybe my favorite thing I've ever seen on the X-Files.
It was funny because I knew the lone gunmen were going to be in it. And I'm like, how can they be in it? Because they're dead. But they worked into them tripping on mushrooms, this pill or whatever. I love it. They're not going to be the same people. You know, because people want them to be the same as they were when they were wide-eyed and like fascinated by everything, but they're not. They've been through the ringer.
Yeah, like
they've been in an alien ship at one point,
yeah.
So they're not the same people. But I like the undercurrent of them thinking about their son that they gave away. Yeah. That's every episode is that.
Especially it's hard on Gillian Anderson.
Scully, who lost her mother in the season 2.
She's the one putting in the hard acting scenes.
Yeah. The company, doesn't he look like he rolled off the barroom floor?
Yeah,
and just
got out of bed, was like, I was just Hank Moody, banging some hot
yeah.
And then I came over here, film a couple X-Files scenes.
But I love it. I love it so much that I don't normally do this. I'm not a binge watcher, and there was a night I wasn't feeling too good. And it started at 5 o'clock, and I ended at midnight of watching. I was sitting with my laptop on my lap, and I was watching all the one-off episodes of the early X-Files.
Oh.
So the thing in the sewers and the Jersey Devil, and I was loving all
the
of it.
inbred family with the
home.
Oh, that's the best episode.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Home kind of reminded me of that episode with the lizard dude. There was just something. There was a similar vibe going on in it that I really liked. I'm loving it. I'm so sad that
I'm curious to see where it goes next. Like, are they going to do more?
Yes.
And like, I heard that they're going to bring in some other people. That Duchovny and Gillian Anderson are going to be. It's like he said, we're too old and too busy to do it. So I don't know if they're going to keep it to just short seasons, or are they going to have like they have those younger versions of them.
I don't want to see the younger ones. I have no interest in the younger ones. Chris Carter, if you're listening to this, by any chance, we're Kolchak. You big on Kolchak? The reason we're here is for Kolchak, the Night Stalker. We have no interest in the young couple. If you just have to do 6-episode seasons, we're happy with that.
That's fine.
Maybe throw in a TV movie or an actual movie every now and then. You could fit
less
into
is
their
more,
schedule.
I think, with this.
Yeah, because you treasure it more.
And you don't need to go that far with all this conspiracy stuff. People lose interest.
Right. I've loved it. I've loved every episode. Maybe I can't give a biased opinion.
I'm happy that they came back and it's so good, because now I'm like, okay, they're back. Like, it's kind of a reset button without rebooting it.
Right. I'll forget the last 2 seasons
Yeah.
of the original run, and I'm happy with where we are.
What you just did is what I'll probably do, is just go through and find the best of.
Yeah, that's
episodes.
what I did. I went to the episode that Stephen King wrote, where Gillian Anderson goes on vacation. It's a really funny episode, and she goes up into Maine on vacation, and there's a girl with a doll that can kill people and control them.
Oh, jeez.
It's really good. And him and her, Duchovny and Anderson, are never in the same scene, but he's, throwing pencils in the wall and crap like that, and, just being a goof the whole time.
It's good. Horror TV is really like, there's like the young adult stuff like on MTV and the
Teen
CW, like Teen Wolf and Vampire Diaries and Supernatural and stuff like that. That's not really our wheelhouse. So the X-Files coming back is more like, yes, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other show that is spectacular is Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh!
Oh my God. Now that was only like 6 or 7 episodes or something.
10.
10?
It was 10.
Holy crap! That
Don't
one.
tell me the end because I haven't watched the end yet.
Okay, I won't tell you the
I'll-
end,
Put this pen in your throat.
but I will tell you, I loved every episode.
Bruce Campbell's the man.
Bruce Campbell's the man, and I was like, how are they going to do a TV show of the Evil Dead? And they did it. It has the exact spirit of the movies. Bruce Campbell is as much of an ass as Ash as ever. It's got
Maybe more so.
frenetic camera movements.
Have you noticed something? The cop? Have you noticed the size of the cans on her?
The cop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
lord.
Yeah, no.
She doesn't even seem human. They play it down, but every time I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's got freaking Xena.
Lucy
Warrior
Liu.
Princess. Come on.
She's naked in one of them.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Really? No way. She's like in her 50s.
She's looking good.
Of course, we're almost in our 50s, so I guess
say,
50s
so?
looks good.
Better than I look.
Want to see my cans?
We could do a naked scene in the Monster Man.
We
Nobody
were
wants
thinking of that for the 100th episode.
Can you get negative hits on this show?
Dirk Diggler. Ash vs. Evil Dead is freaking awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, get it on Blu-ray or video on demand. So,
Now, if you haven't seen Fear the Walking Dead, fear not. Don't bother.
that was boring.
Go mow the lawn, take out the trash, change the sheets on the bed. Anything's better than that piece of
The
crap.
lead woman on that show is the head detective in Gone Girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Watching Gone Girl, I'm like, how do I know her? Oh, that's Fear the Walking Dead.
Ugh.
Um,
Although the next season it's going to be on the ship, which is a
yeah.
ripoff of Brian Keane's
yeah.
Dead Rising, Rising Dead.
First of all, I mean, all right. So this should lead into our conversation about The Walking Dead. But Fear the Walking Dead, it's supposed to be. We're going to get a better look at the outbreak, and then there's going to be some spoilers here for Fear the Walking Dead. Who cares?
Right.
But basically, like you see, like the first couple of days of the outbreak, then they fast forward like a couple of weeks. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that what we were supposed to see?
I want to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, I want to see like what happened with the government. What happened with the cops?
Right.
I want to see cops abandoning their post because their families are sick, or
No, you're not going to get that.
and then the characters, like who the hell cares about these
The
people?
worst. And that Johnny Depp, early Johnny Depp kind of wannabe.
The heroin addict or whatever the hell he.
I remember my wife and I were on vacation. You can't find a better way to watch anything than on vacation. We're in Maine. We're in Stephen King country. I had just run into Stephen King at the barbershop.
That's right.
And we're sitting there, Fear the Walking Dead's on. We get into our recliners, we put the show on, and then when it was 10 minutes, it started at 9, 10 minutes to 10, I'm like going, there's another half hour of this? And we were so upset. We were like, oh God, well maybe it'll get better. And it wasn't. It just
And
sucked.
I'll give it a chance. I'll watch it just because whatever.
I
I
will.
just DVR it and I'll watch it. But
I'm done. I'm out. I pulled the ripcord.
like well now they're going to a boat, and then
Yeah.
there's this thing on an airplane that they're doing, like this mini series.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you are drawing out something so not
I want to see
interesting.
Samuel Jackson get out there on the
Yeah,
plane.
I'm tired of these zombies on this plane.
No, it's not going to happen.
But no. So now, Walking Dead. What do you think so far?
The first episode, the second half, I
Yeah.
thought was very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
When I first watched it, as we were watching, it was like, oh, there was a lot like, oh, and then later the next day I was like, oh, why did they do that?
There's just continuity issues in that first
Big
episode
time.
where like it had just rained, like here, and then over here it's dry, or it's daytime, then all of a sudden it's nighttime.
Or that little obnoxious kid's going, Mom, Mom.
Yeah, the
But
end
he's
of
not
last
doing
season.
it in the new, I don't know.
Which that like reminds me of like back in the '80s or something when they would end a show,
Yes.
and then when they would pick up the next week with the cliffhanger, it was like a different, and you're like, wow, that's
whole new crew took part in
Yeah,
that
like
next
it was a whole different. It was similar, but like slight details were changed to make it not so threatening.
Yeah. Plus they killed the blonde.
Yeah.
They killed anyone who's blonde has no shot in The Walking Dead.
The first zombie is blonde.
Oh yeah.
The guy's
Yeah. Now, if you're blonde, you're done. It's like a red shirt in Star
Yeah.
Trek. And
Negan.
no, Maggie's sister.
Oh, Beth.
Yeah, blonde.
Oh, I thought,
Gone. I'm just trying to prove my point.
All right, so when they killed Beth, that's Beth. They do that whole stupid subplot of her in the hospital.
You're right.
That takes a bunch of weeks, and then, spoiler alert, if you don't know Beth is dead by now you know Beth is dead.
She done be dead.
And I'm like, really?
Well, I was upset when I saw her die.
So was I, but it was like, why would you? We spent all that time with her at the hospital. Don't give me the Cormac McCarthy. That's how life goes.
Cormac McCarthy. What the hell? I think we're.
Anyway. I just edited out some noise that happened. We're back.
Safe light repair. Safe light replace.
Anyway, The Walking Dead. It's like raining. They killed Beth after this big, long, prolonged, stupid plot line that was just filler, basically.
Yeah.
You get to this season. Inconsistencies in the plot line. After a first half that was basically one day, they find all the walkers in that gravel pit.
Oh my god, that was the dumbest idea ever.
Yeah, and then the wolves thing just kind of came and went.
Rick is a dick. I think that the theme is Rick is a dick. Rick will get you killed.
Now Negan is coming at the end of this season, and it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's like the comedian in Watchmen. And Negan in the comic books is a pretty great bad guy.
Yeah, he's
swears
awesome.
like a sailor. I don't know how they're gonna.
Says a lot of F words and sometimes the C word.
But another show that's so uneven. Like I watch it, and there's some parts I just love, and then just other parts I guess I'm like they can never really consistently hit the high mark.
It's never as good as the comic. It jumped the shark. I don't know when it jumped the shark, but it has jumped the shark. It's not must-see TV.
No, it's good.
It's something to do on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock.
You know what it is? Somebody actually, there's a great honest trailers about it.
Right.
It's like, it's got 4 great episodes, 3 so-so episodes, and 4 filler episodes. Like, awesome season finale, season debut and season finale. Like, They pin the formula down. It's like, the first episode's always great, the last episode's usually great.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones that are like the best thing you've ever seen. And then there's going to be the one that's like, Michonne goes for a walk.
Yeah, that's why the inconsistency. I've never seen so many inconsistencies in an episode as happened in the start of the second half of this season. But I don't know.
And they do these episodes where like there's no Daryl, then it's all Daryl.
You know what's funny? I hadn't read the comics in a year, and I was reading the comic going, where's Daryl? I'm like, oh wait, Daryl doesn't exist in the comics.
It is funny when you go back and read the comics. I get the trades, so there's like
me too.
Every 6 months. And every once in a while I'll go back and reread from issue 1. And I forget how fast or slow stuff happens. Or like, oh man, they get to the prison so fast. Or, oh my god, that doesn't happen for so much longer than I remember. Or there's characters in the books that aren't in the show and vice versa. What's her name? The sniper.
Andrea.
Oh, they just bobbled the ball on her.
Yeah, they screwed the pooch with her character. But look, if you like the show, we really encourage you to read the comics.
Yes.
You can go to Barnes and Noble. They're all there. You can get the first 10 volumes in one volume. It's worth it. Trust me. The show I'm looking forward to that's coming up March and April is Bates Motel.
Oh, good show.
Which is Vera Farmiga.
Oh.
That's a show I didn't know that they would be able to pull off. My dad, before he died, told me to watch this show. Not that we knew he was going to die, so.
Wasn't the last thing he said to you.
Watch Bates Motel.
Because
I remember I was upset after I watched the second season going, oh, he never knew how it ended. Like, he got me into it, and then he never knew how the second season ended. It's a really good, the acting is phenomenal.
The kid who plays Norman Bates is awesome.
Yeah, because my kids remember him from kid movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's in like, what's that one?
Like, Spiderwick Chronicles.
Yes.
He's in Spiderwick, and Vera Farmiga is phenomenal. So their performances as Norm and Norma are
I was just watching The Departed.
Right.
She's great in that.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
She's gorgeous, too.
I read in the month of January. I read Psycho, Psycho 2, and Psycho House by Robert Bloch. Very different books. So the show totally it takes a little bit of Psycho. It takes a lot of Psycho, and it creates this whole different show that is just. It's one of the best shows on TV.
I didn't know how they were going to pull this off, and they have. There's certain times where I'm like, okay, I got to cut it a little slack here, suspension of disbelief. But
Right.
overall,
There's only going to be 5 seasons.
oh, see, now that's what I'm glad to hear that because
They have an end.
I don't know how if they have an end, that's great.
Yeah, so we're coming up as season 4. So there, look, we all know how it ends. It ends with Norm.
I always wondered if they were going to attempt to do Psycho on the show, or do they just leave it?
I think they're going to leave it as where it should end. It's funny because in the books, Norm is a 40-year-old fat piece of crap. So in the books, he's in his 20s and he's young and thin, and it's just a totally different character. But in the books, he's a much older man. It's really creepy.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I'm gonna read the books.
yeah, I think they're going to move more towards how the movie goes.
You know, the movie Psycho 2 is good. I remember from high school.
Yeah, watch it again. Robert Bloch wrote Psycho 2
Wasn't
when
like
he...
Meg Tilly or
Oh yeah, Meg Tilly, you're right. When Robert Bloch heard they were doing Psycho 2 and didn't want him involved, he wrote a Psycho 2 on his own.
really?
And the whole movie lambastes the movie industry. The book destroys what scumbags directors and producers are.
I remember very little. I just remember somebody getting hit with a shovel.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Trust me, it wasn't good. The Psycho TV show is better than all the movies, other than Psycho. Psycho with Hitchcock. Is
Well, the
phenomenal.
shot-for-shot remake with Vince Vaughn being the best one.
Jesus Christ. Even though it had, what's her face? From 6 Days, 7 Nights, the blonde.
Oh, Anne Heche.
Anne Heche, who I love. For some reason, I have a thing for Anne Heche.
Anne Heche, to me, was always one of those women that sometimes looked okay, and then other times looked really hot. You're like, wait, that's Anne Heche? Holy.
Exactly.
And then she'd go back to just, like, if you watch Volcano or whatever it is, really plain looking.
She's the antithesis of everything I like. I'm like a Sofia Vergara, Salma Hayek guy, but Anne Heche. I bought tickets to see her in a Broadway play, front row, so I could see her. And when I got there, she wasn't there.
Ah.
Understudy did the show. I couldn't bring my wife because she was sick. I brought my friend who could barely fit in the seat. Nightmare.
Anne Heche's understudy.
I know. Who looked like Jennifer Aniston, so it wasn't so bad.
That's okay then.
But I wanted to see Anne Heche first, front row, but whatever. So there are some TV shows that we're watching right now that you should be watching. Maybe if you're The Walking Dead, maybe you shouldn't be watching.
Tell us what you think. Comments below. Facebook page.
Here's a box where you can put your comments.
Stuff. And that's enough for this show.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, and see you next time on
Monster Man.